As on the green.
Thank you, Joe. 2 minutes before 8 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in this Tuesday morning. I got this computer finally up and running again. Now I need a computer to tell you the temperature. It's 53 degrees out there.
Yeah. Well, we can always break a hole in the glass and run that little wire out there from the temperature thermometer you got inside.
Yeah.
Joe wouldn't be happy.
Yeah, I can tell you the temperature inside. I don't know how much help that'll be for him. It's nice out there. Nobody's going to complain about the weather. Galen Unol is out there in the weather, and he's on the phone, and he's going to remind us of the importance of donating blood. Good morning, Galen.
Hey, good morning, Larry, Robin. How are y'all?
Pretty good. Where did we get you?
I'm still in Ocala. I'm running a little behind today.
A little behind. Every once in a while, you need a little behind.
Exactly.
Hey,
It's 8 o'clock, by the way. This is WOCA Ocala.
the source.
Thank you very much. I want to talk about cuss words with you today. Were you aware that was the subject?
No.
No? Okay.
Gosh darn it. All right. I'll tell you my famous cuss word story is, okay, Red Flintstone. You know when he would, like, bang his toe or something.
Right.
Do that?
Right.
Well, I thought that was the same thing my father was saying. And so my father could curse when he wanted to, and so that's what I say. And my mom heard it, and she of course went crazy. And I tasted great soap. And 6 or 7. It was great.
You tasted
so
soap.
that was a life lesson there.
Oh, that's funny.
My dad, he thought it was hilarious. He goes, I never told you to say that. It was pretty fun.
Well, I'll tell you how I learned the F word. But first, let me ask you how the blood supply is doing.
We need O negatives. Everything else we're in pretty good shape. We have we're still at 3 days blood supply. We really need O negatives. So if you're an O negative, you know an O negative, please spread the word about our drastic need for O negative.
There you go. If you enjoy the segment every day, it's because of Galen's radio skills. We tapped into his talent way back a long time ago when we first started doing this segment. The whole point of this segment was to simply do what Galen just did, and then tell us where the Bloodmobile is, and then that was it.
Yeah.
But the segment has grown, as you all know. It's become very popular, as you all know. It's because of the guy on the phone, Galen.
Yeah,
you know
exactly. Galen's great.
He's got some good radio skills, obviously. Not to mention play-by-play. I love the play-by-play of the unskilled Chicago Parker.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna miss that this morning. I'm sorry.
But Galen's got a great, personality too. It's not just because of his radio skills, but because he's the person he is.
Well, that is radio skills. I think being able to express your personality is a skill.
Being genuine.
Well, in the medium. I mean,
Right.
you can have a personality at a party or with your family, and then the microphone's there, and all of a sudden,
Yeah, exactly.
gets
you clam
turned
up.
Right?
Yeah. That's right.
All right. So on the September 11th, 2013, we did our September 11th show, and I had invited a New York City firefighter. Mm-hmm. The name is James McCauley.
Yep.
That's the first time you heard the F word?
No, I'm going to tell you about this though.
Oh, never mind. That was
No, but you're on the right track. Well, Jimmy and I were kids together. We were friends. He lived 2 houses.
Right.
He lived 2 houses from me. He's the guy who was into baseball. I was more into music, and he would get these baseball cards, and he was dying to get Mickey Mantle. And I knew he wanted Mickey Mantle, and I said to him, "I have a Mickey," and he said, "Oh," and he didn't know I meant Mickey Dolenz. I was from the Monkees. Anyway, so when we were kids, somebody had written in chalk on the curb the F word. And I had never seen it, heard it, and nothing. I didn't know the F word. So Jimmy said to me, "Can you read that word?" So I said, "Sure." And I read it. Yeah, he laughed at me. I said, "What? What'd I say?" Say it again. Ah! And then he was telling the other kids, "Larry said the F word." But he didn't say the F word. He said the word. You know?
Oh.
Yeah. So I learned the F word from Jimmy McCauley, just so you know. Whatever he is now.
And the curb. Yeah. And of course the curb.
The curb. Yeah, the curb taught me. I have no idea who wrote it in chalk. I'm guessing it was Jimmy.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
Well,
How old were you?
What is that?
Yeah, how old were you?
How old were you?
Oh my goodness, elementary school. I don't know what age. I don't know. I mean, I might have been older than most people learn that word. I don't know because I was always late with these things.
Me too.
That's the problem with that.
Yeah, I don't really know, but I know it was elementary school. If that helps.
So, Galen, when you watch that Christmas movie and the little boy gets his mouth, washed out with soap, do you get flashbacks?
Oh yeah, and I really don't think you've lived until you've had your mouth washed out. I found that several techniques. I mean, there were 3 boys, 3 teenage boys at one time in our house, and yeah, I mean, she had one. She would soak a washcloth in not Dove,
Ivory.
Ivory. No,
Ivory.
not ivory soap. It was it's a dishwashing soap.
Okay.
So that was one technique.
Lux
And then the other
liquid.
Yeah, that was pretty rough. And then the Palmolive, that's what I'm looking for.
Ah, okay.
Oh, there you go.
Okay.
That was her brand of choice, and I still buy it today. I can still taste it. But and then of course she would soak like a washcloth in that stuff and stick it in your mouth, and it would just drip.
Oh.
Brutal. And then
Oh.
and I love that movie when Ralphie has that dream about going blind because of the soap. Right? He
Yeah.
comes back and he's blind. I to this day I thought this is going to kill me. So, I can really relate to that scene. But
Too funny. Too funny.
stuff. I wonder if they, when they're making that, those kind of soaps. Hey, we better test this in case some mom washes their kid out with soap, mouth out with soap in this. So.
Oh, yeah, they could be sued nowadays.
You know what? That would be foolish.
So there's a book on this subject. It's called Holy S Word, a brief history of swearing. That's the title of the book.
All right. Well, there's also a book with the same first 2 words, but it says stuff my dad says.
Oh, really? Oh, that's cool.
Which is really, really funny. So if you ever want to read it. All right. Go ahead.
This one is published by Oxford University Press, for those who want to know. And I want to tell you some stuff about the swear.
It makes sense. They make the dictionary.
Right.
That's right.
The swear words that we all perhaps use. Now, we mentioned this earlier, the fact that you were in the Navy. Do Navy guys swear more than anybody else? They say cuss like a sailor.
Yeah, I think whenever you get a bunch of men together, I think whether they're playing cards or talking about cars or in the Navy, you do all that stuff. You can curse. Yeah, absolutely.
Now, do you curse in front of your children?
And then it becomes a point where you are judged by your ability to curse. So there's an art to it. I mean, there are some guys that I know that you are artful cursor.
Didn't you find it weird when they called that little thing that moves around on the computer screen a cursor? It's like, what? How did
That's right.
That's the cursor right there.
I had thought about that in a while. That's funny.
The average person swears 0.7% of the words that he or she uses in the course of a day.
Really?
0.7%. That's what it says here.
I don't think I curse that much.
Well, you're not average.
I use a lot of words, though.
Let's see. Words like we, our, and ourselves are used as much as the curse words.
Yeah. When I was in the Navy, I would use more than that. Probably. Much higher percentage.
Children often learn 4-letter words before they learn the alphabet.
Yes. Yeah.
Probably.
I believe that to be true.
Probably.
Because it's amazing how kids will make you curse. It is absolutely amazing.
It's funny.
And if you've ever had a 2 or a 3-year-old, that's as a parent where you start to learn that I've really got to watch what I say. Because one, they have a great ability to make you curse, and they will repeat it exactly in the right tone with the right inflection at the right time.
Yes.
That's
They're
right.
amazing at that.
Right. In
So,
church, for example.
They
Yes.
don't know any better. And the problem is, as a parent, the first time you hear it, your child curse in the exact same tone as you have heard it, whether you said it or your spouse,
Right.
you laugh.
You
right?
laugh.
You laugh.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then the kid,
Right.
Isn't that
the kid
cute?
looks at you, and then they giggle.
Right.
And then they just keep saying it, and now it's over. You can't stop laughing.
Right.
Right,
And now
right.
you've just taught your child how to curse. Welcome to America.
Timothy J., a psychology professor at the Massachusetts College of Liberal Arts, agrees with you. Mm-hmm. He says that is why children curse a lot, swear a lot, whatever you want to call it.
What do you say? You say cuss or curse?
I say curse.
Robin?
Yeah, I say swear.
See, and I say cuss.
Yeah. Well, cuss.
That's a regional thing.
I think so. I think so too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Some of today's most popular swear words have been around for more than 1,000 years. Listen to this. The S word is found in Anglo-Saxon texts from 44 AD. 44 AD.
Wow.
Let's be honest, Larry. The poo has been around. The animals walk the earth.
The S word is also found in texts that include the A word,
Yeah.
Gosh.
the other form of arse, I
Arse.
guess, and the
Yeah.
F word, the sound and the stink that comes
Out
there. There
of
you
your
go. There you go.
orifice.
In those times, those terms though were not considered impolite.
No.
Oh.
They were-
I mean, the F word is fornication under the consent of the king. That was a word. And
There you
that's
go.
how it was used, and it was then, abbreviated and then turned into a curse word. It's just a word. It's the meaning of the word that it gives it power, and it's the reaction of those around you that give it power. So,
It says here that in ancient Rome was where the F-bomb began.
Oh,
the
wow.
word F-bomb?
No,
Oh,
no,
yeah,
no.
yeah,
The
yeah.
actual word, the word.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
It says the F-bomb was not such a bad word. What was worse was taking the Lord's name in vain. That was worse than the F-bomb.
You know what? I still feel that. I still feel that way. Like if you say, if you just use the word "damn," like this, that stops a body of water and turns it into electrical power.
Right.
But if you put God in front of that, I find that. I find that. I react to that stronger.
I
than
do too.
I do just
Yeah.
the
I
word
do too.
Blasphemous.
I did too. Yeah, I have trouble with people saying Jesus Christ. I have trouble with people saying His name as an expression of aghast or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
I have trouble with that too.
Yeah, I agree with it.
The swearing was similarly based on sexual taboos as they are today in ancient Rome. People did not divide, the Romans did not divide people up by being heterosexual and homosexual, though. They divided people into active and passive. Okay?
Oh.
Passive was bad. You didn't want to be passive.
Pitchers and catchers.
You are exactly right. A sexual slur in ancient Rome. Listen to this. I'm going to read you a word that was, if it was radio back then, I couldn't say it on the air.
Okay.
Pathicus. If you were called a pathicus, that's a bad word.
Oh.
Pathicus is a graphic term which meant receiver.
Oh, gee.
You did not want to be called a receiver, a pathicus.
No.
So right now,
I think I want to be called that right now. I'm pretty sure those are fighting words.
that's good.
Just listen to what he's a pacifist. What did you call me?
Pathicus, yeah.
That's instantly a reaction to that.
Absolutely.
You big pacifist. You're ready to come through the phone and attack me right now.
That's right. They're climbing through those wires.
Pathicus. Yeah. All right. Here's part of their belief back then in the medieval times, in Middle Ages. Certain oaths were believed to actually tear apart the ascended body of Christ, and therefore it was very bad to say anything that took the Lord's name in vain. There you go.
Gosh.
One of the phrases that people would say, and it does take the Lord's name in vain, so forgive me for this, but it says, by God's bones.
Oh.
By God's nails. Yeah, by God's bones. So those would be considered very taboo. You wouldn't say that back then because there was a belief that it actually tore Jesus apart. He's sitting up in heaven and you're pulling on him physically.
Oh, my gosh.
Here's another part about the Middle Ages. They had much less privacy than we do. And so that's why sexual and excremental words were not such a big deal.
Yeah.
They pretty much...
they were screamers?
They would use the bathroom all at the same time in the same place.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
There were no walls. There were no cubicles in the bathrooms.
No
Right.
stalls.
Well, there's probably a dirt.
If they even had a bathroom.
Yeah, probably a bush or something.
Multiple
Just an outhouse.
multiple people slept in the same beds, often having sex while somebody else was having sex in the same bed.
Orgy. That's the origin of that word.
And so a lot of the things that we now consider private weren't private back then, and therefore the words were not so bad. The words that we consider sexual or excremental.
Oh, I see.
But the Lord's name in vain was the absolute worst. You couldn't do
Yeah.
that. You couldn't say that.
No.
Nor could you call somebody a pathicus.
No.
Again, Larry, I need you to watch your tone.
Where's that palm olive?
That's right. We got soap in the bathroom. We're set.
Hold on, let me go to the phone. Good morning. You're on the air.
Yeah, Kevin.
Hey, Kevin. How you doing?
Yeah, long time no talk to you.
Yeah, how you doing?
I'm doing fine.
What you know?
I don't know nothing.
No? When'd you
Nothing.
learn your first cuss word?
Curse word.
Yeah.
That's what we're
I
talking
didn't
about.
use any on the air, did I?
No, you didn't do it on the air.
No.
But I thought maybe you might have a story to tell us about your
No,
first
ask Fran not to use any profanity on the air.
cuss word.
That's why I like to use it.
You don't want to use it on the air. Unless you're a pathicus.
That's right.
I don't want to use it all.
No, I wouldn't use it if you're a pathicus.
Yes.
No. You don't want to do that.
Let me ask you a question, buddy.
Go ahead, ask me a question.
How you think Florida's going to do this weekend?
What I'm going to do, I'm going to take my kite and fly it.
Yeah.
Going to fly my kite. Because I had a cousin, he said, Larry, go fly a kite. I said, that's not a bad idea. He said, you're just a pathicus. Fly my kite. Galen, I'm going to go fly my kite, Galen.
Go ahead. Hey, it's fun.
All right. Next thing. Ready?
I enjoy flying kites.
Let's see. People in the rising middle class today, this is now today, use cuss words less
Yeah.
than people in the upper class or the lower class.
Really?
Because it's considered a way to hold yourself back. If you are trying to climb the social ladder, the corporate ladder, you will watch your tongue more, according to this study.
Oh, and then when you get there, you'll just let it loose then for all those days of pent up not using it.
I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah. There are times, let's be completely honest, where the perfect curse word is absolutely appropriate.
Yeah.
Then there are times when it is not.
Sometimes it's funny, once in a while.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Sometimes it's like, that was a perfect word of the
Right.
perfect situation.
Right.
And then sometimes it gets thrown out there and you're like, wow, that seemed excessive.
Yeah.
I mean, if you ever had that, it's like, oh, all right, you felt like you needed to go there.
So here's another one.
One of the things that happens is like when people don't know you, but they think they know you, and,
Right.
and they start cursing in front of you.
Right.
And what I always do is I always go, and then I try everything in my power not to use any type of anything but the most high-level language from that point on to make them really feel uncomfortable.
Right.
Wow.
It's not wrong. It's not
Yeah.
wrong, Larry. To, make them feel bad for, posting in front of me.
If I were
before they know me
you,
well enough.
next time, now that you know the word, you could throw in pathicus.
Yeah.
Yeah, you must be a Catholic.
All right. Good
The
morning.
language is so vile.
Good morning. You're on the air.
Yeah, good subject. Good morning, you guys.
Hi, Hugh. How you doing?
Oh, pretty good. See, when I was a little boy growing up, my grandmother, who was born in Germany, now I don't know if this is a swear word or not, but she used to call me an nincompoop.
Yeah, nincompoop. Yeah.
Oh, I've said that word.
Yeah,
I've been called a nincompoop.
and I don't know if that's bad or not, but when she said nincompoop, I listened and I behaved.
Yeah. You have to.
That's a funny one.
Right.
My grandfather used to say Schweinhund, not to me, but to people he didn't like. Call him a Schweinhund. All right, so listen to this. Listen to this. This is an interesting one. Now, this is all in that study in the Oxford University Press book called A Brief History of Swearing.
Okay.
Hearing and saying swear words changes skin conductive response.
Really?
The study finds that swearing alleviates pain. So if you hit your, I know, if you hit your thumb.
There's no way. It's a documented study. There's no way.
You don't believe this. All right, if you hit.
We're asking for volunteers.
The appropriate response. Like, have you ever stubbed your toe?
Oh, yeah.
Like, you like in the middle of the night?
Right.
I'm sorry, the first words out of your mouth
Right.
are, you just hope it's not Sunday morning.
And you have alleviated your pain by using that word.
I'm going to remember that one.
Okay. Imagine this. Imagine this. Put your mind in two different places. One, you're with your son or your children or any children. Maybe your children are excluded from this. I used to cuss in front of Alex, curse, whatever. It didn't.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how he grew up. He heard me saying words.
Yeah.
But anyway, if I hit hit my thumb with a hammer, and I say, "Oh, sugar."
Gosh.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, it hurts more.
Yes, it does.
You're right. And I think, there's, now that I'm thinking about this, it's probably psychological because you're having to, if you filter yourself, you know what I mean? When you look around, you go, now you're just frustrated even more because you can't release that.
That's too funny.
I mean, I think if you said any word immediately, it would probably have the same impact. But if you're trying to filter it, I guess it doesn't allow the pain to go.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
there is nothing worse than you're waking up in the middle of the night and you step on something or you stub your toe. You run into a piece of furniture that hasn't moved in 22 years.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Oh my gosh, it doesn't help.
No.
You got to say something stronger.
That's right.
Right.
Animals run away.
I think we're safe in this day and age to use Pathicas. That might just help relieve some pain next time.
I think so.
This slimy piece of furniture is a...
Or you could use nincompoop. You could hit your finger with a nail, with a hammer.
You know why that word isn't that popular? It's just hard to say.
Nincompoop,
It
yeah.
doesn't roll off the tongue. So I guess that's why when somebody calls you, you're like, wow, he must really be mad at me. He took the time, energy, and effort to say him.
Well, last week or 2 weeks ago, we all learned the Italian. Was it Italian word for the F word?
Yeah.
Do you remember when the Pope said a wrong word, but he said it?
Yeah, he
Yeah, we
just
learned that.
misspoke.
I know, but still, we learned it because
yeah.
it was in all the news stories.
It
That's
was
right.
such a big deal.
We
I
had
mean,
it.
you know how many times we've misspoke?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez, I've cursed on this station before.
Have you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I said something, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah, that's right.
I
You
don't
did.
remember
That was
which
funny.
word it
I
was.
can't remember now. Yeah, I think I
can't
remember
what it was,
That's
but
funny.
that was.
Well, anyway, the last thing it says in the study is that blue collar workers.
Did you ever hear the? I'm sorry to interrupt.
That's
Did you ever
okay.
hear Casey Kasem outtakes?
No.
All right. Well, YouTube it. It's probably on YouTube. I know it was back when I was in radio. It was circling, and so, it was Casey Kasem reading this script, and he's like, "Who bang, 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 bang?" It's just beeped out. Who wrote this crap? It's Casey Kasem.
That's funny.
Yeah.
You hear Casey Kasem,
That's funny.
it's this. Everything's great. The sun is shining, and
Yeah.
here he is just dropping bombs. It's awesome.
Well, anyway, blue collar workers. Last thing on the list: use taboo terms to build group solidarity.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, you told me about that too.
Well, I told him. I mean, didn't it happen in your work environment? Not here, but.
No. No, I guess
No,
it's different with men
Do we ever
than,
hear it here?
than women.
Off the air, do we hear the? I'm so
don't curse
immune
in
to
front of
everything.
Yeah, no, nobody here says those words.
My dad would hit
Unless
me.
they think nobody's listening.
Yeah, that's correct.
don't
you
know.
don't you don't curse in front of women. No. And call me old fashioned. I find it. I always get a little queasy when a woman curses.
Yeah, because she looks
yeah.
ugly. I mean, I've done it, and then I felt bad after that because it's like, oh my gosh, that's
Well,
awful.
you have a tool now. It's called pathos. Or nincompoop. You can use that one too. I just think gosh darn doesn't do much.
No, it doesn't. I do say a few words when I'm on the road and I see a stupid driver if they cut me off or something. I do yell at them.
Gosh.
That's
Yeah.
right.
We know they're Canadian.
What a jerk. Yeah, right.
You know, I have learned one from being in the South. It's bless your heart. I know that doesn't. I know it doesn't sound like a curse word, but I've heard it used.
Yeah.
You know, it can be used as as definitely as a slur.
Oh yeah, I saw
Yeah.
a woman roll down her window, and I thought for sure she's going to flip the guy a bird, and she says, "Bless your heart," and I said, "Wow, that was nice."
Yeah, you know,
Inner
it's a double-edged sword, that one. And it is used a lot in Alabama, I can tell you that.
Oh really? That's funny.
Oh, yeah.
That's funny. All right, Robert, we need a segue from curse words, swear words to donating blood.
Well, everybody's human, and every once in a while, people will use those curse words. But when you go to Life South Community Blood Centers, they don't use those words at all because they're all smiling and happy, and they listen to everything that everybody has to say, and they alleviate your fears using gentle words. So go to Life South Community Blood Centers, help save a life, become an ambassador, and they are looking for apheresis donors right now. And don't forget about O-negative donors.
There you go.
Yeah, you walk into a drawer on the Bloodmobile, you'll hear something.
Oh,
Yeah, I have cursed on those Bloodmobiles more than once. I had one breakdown in the middle, right on 200, just stuck.
Oh.
Do you know?
Yeah, there was some cursing going on there.
Do you know? It really does not hurt. You really don't feel it when they put that needle into your arm.
No.
But can you imagine the look on the what do you call it? Phlebotomist, the phlebotomist's face. If she didn't know that you were a regular donor, you know, let's say it's a new phlebotomist. They're nervous as it is, and she's putting the needle in, and you go, oh. And then you say the S word.
Yeah.
Can you imagine her look on her face?
That would probably make it worse because then she would flinch. That would be very bad.
Oh no.
Yeah, keep your happy face on when you're
No.
laying there waiting for them to stick.
All right, where's the Bloodmobile today, Galen?
Bloodmobile today, Larry, is at Legacy Elementary School.
All right, Legacy. Where's
Okay.
that? Where's that Legacy?
And we were it's
by
out,
Hammett.
yeah.
Go ahead, Galen.
Where is it?
No, go ahead.
No, you.
Oh, nobody knows where it is.
You go ahead.
Sounds like nobody knows
I
where it
think
is.
It's on the southwest side of the county.
Okay. all
Yeah.
right. And if you can't get there, you go next door to the Cascades on Silver Springs Boulevard and donate blood at the brick and mortar building from Life South. Where would you go in Denell and Robin?
Right next door to Sweet Bay.
Right. Donate blood, save some lives.
I think it's that new school in Marion Oaks. I think. I have to look it up
Yeah,
now.
could be,
Legacy
could be.
Elementary.
Well, there's several over there, and I'm getting them confused with Liberty and Legacy. I think you're right. It may be in Marion Oaks, but there's also
A Liberty, but by Hammett Bowen, right?
Right,
Yeah.
and then there's a Legacy, and I think that's it. I know it's on the southwest side of the county. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I'll have to look it up now.
I can drive there, but I cannot picture like the street address right now.
Oh yeah. I do that too.
By the way, there's one more piece here. It says a cuss word is the best word you can use to insult somebody. So if that's your goal,
know.
that'll
I
work.
don't know. You find the really good word that's actually not a cuss word, it just breaks it. Like my mother could say, "I'm very disappointed in you." I mean, I'm sorry. The world is over.
Yeah,
right?
well.
I would rather her drop an F-bomb on me.
Oh, no.
Right?
No, you wouldn't. No, you
And I
wouldn't.
think I would. I don't know. I don't think my mom's ever.
Can you imagine? Wait a minute, just for a second.
Yeah. she's
Imagine
never done that.
you bring home your report card and you failed science, let's say. Your mother,
Yeah, that happened. Actually, that's a true story.
your mother says, "I'm very disappointed in you." Versus,
that's right.
versus Galen, F you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Bad.
I don't think
My
so.
father was to say, maybe if I reverse the role. I don't think I ever heard my mom curse.
Ay.
I'd have to think about that if I ever have heard her curse.
All right. Well, blame Jimmy McCauley for me knowing the F word in the first place.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm sure you would have learned it eventually. So maybe he doesn't need that kind of guilt for the rest of his life.
That's funny. That's right. He
It's
saved.
amazing once you learn it, how quickly you become proficient at the word, though.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Very
I
easy.
mean, yeah, it doesn't take long before you become an expert
But you know,
in
if
the
you,
ability to flame those arrows.
but here's the thing: if you say it with a PH rather than an F, it's not considered dirty.
Well,
Yeah,
there you go. There you go. So preface it before you say it. This is a PH.
By the way, look
word.
up a video. It's a song. It's called "I Learned Swear Words from a Chicken." You got something like that.
Oh gosh.
There you go. That's exciting.
You got to look up this video. It's a real dorky song, but it's kind of funny. All right, we got 10 seconds. Galen, have a great day.
You guys are the best. Thanks, y'all.
All right, we will go over to Mike Huckabee. After Mike Huckabee, we will deliver News Bites. This is The Source, WOCA.
This is the Huckabee Report for Tuesday. I'm Mike Huckabee. Today, the Republican Party's biggest mistake. That story next.
Never before in the history of mankind has March meant so much. The Quicken Loans $1 Billion Bracket Challenge with Yahoo Sports. The once-in-a-lifetime event that could change your life forever. How you make your college basketball picks doesn't matter. $1 billion could be yours. But that's not the only way to win big. If your bracket ranks in the top 20, you'll walk away with $100,000. Guaranteed. Get your game on at QuickenLoansBracket.com, where you can fill out your bracket and find more details. The Quicken Loans $1 Billion Bracket Challenge with Yahoo Sports. Pick a perfect bracket. Win $1 billion. Enter at QuickenLoansBracket.com.
Not affiliated with or sponsored by NCAA. No purchase necessary. Legal residents of the United States, 18 or older. Void where prohibited. Begins March 3rd, 2014. Ends at 1 a.m. Eastern Time on March 20th, 2014. For official rules and complete details, visit www.QuickenLoansBracket.com. Prizes available to first 15 million registrants only. Sponsor Quicken Loans, Inc. Equal housing lender license in all 50 states. NMLS number 3030.
A reporter asked what I think the GOP is doing wrong, and I said their biggest mistake is that Republican leaders often seem to be talking only to people who wear suits and work in boardrooms. They also need to engage Americans who carry a lunchbox instead of a briefcase and explain how lower taxes, smaller government, and less regulation can help them as well. The latest jobs report shows what 5 years of big government, taxes, and deficit stimulus spending have gotten us. Record numbers of Americans are out of the workforce and are on food stamps. Unemployment ticked up to 6.7%, and among black youth, a staggering 32%. Yet the Democrats take their votes for granted. Republicans should be defending the American dream. Instead, yesterday's executive is now toting a lunch pail. That is, if he's lucky enough to have a job at all. We bid a fond farewell to 3 people who touched all of our lives in different ways. Sheila McRae, the popular TV actress best known as Alice Cramden on the Honeymooners sketches during Jackie Gleason's variety show of the 60s, passed away last week at 92. Ford Motors executive and Detroit Lions owner William Clay Ford Sr. died at 88. He was the last surviving grandchild of Henry Ford, the father of modern factory manufacturing. And we snap one last grateful salute to a genuine American hero, William Wild Bill Guinier, a member of the famous Easy Company of the 101st Airborne in World War II. Wild Bill earned his nickname in combat, where he lost a leg trying to save a comrade during the Battle of the Bulge. He came out of the war with 2 Purple Hearts, 2 Bronze Stars, and the Silver Star. If you watch the HBO series Band of Brothers, then you know Wild Bill Guinier. Well, Saturday he rejoined his fallen comrades at the age of 90. But his legend lives on. I hope you already are my Facebook friend, but if not, why don't you sign up today and follow me on Facebook as well as Twitter. All the details are available at MikeHuckabee.com. Finally, the 18-year-old New Jersey girl who's suing her parents for financial support won a partial victory, and she can thank Obamacare for it. The judge ruled that her parents have to keep her on their health insurance. Now, it's not clear how long. Obamacare allows parents to keep their kids on their policies until they're 26. But until this judge came along, nobody ever claimed they were under any legal obligation to keep paying for their health insurance even after they turned 18. I guess parents are not only banned from ever kicking their adult offspring out of the nest, but now they've got to pay to install a safety net under the nest as well. And this is the Huckabee Report.
Hi, I'm singer Amy Grant. Sometimes, just when you think you have everything figured out, life switches directions and your roadmap suddenly changes. When we brought our mom home to live out her final days, we didn't really know what to expect. As my sisters and I shared our last weeks with her, reminiscing, singing, crying, saying goodbyes, I learned some important lessons. Life's unexpected turns are much easier to handle if you have a plan. So if you're like me, a spouse, parent, and caregiver, making smart insurance decisions can be the difference between living in the moment and finding yourself in a state of worry and stress. To make sound choices, you need unbiased information. That's why I've partnered with the National Association of Insurance Commissioners to encourage you to plan ahead. For tips and tools, or to find your state insurance department, go to insureyouonline.org. That's online.org. Life's a journey. Enjoy the ride.
The Huckabee Report is brought to you by Dairy Queen, Silver Springs, Ocala.
Hey, you guys, this is Lou, and if you don't want to be a dirty little bird sitting on a crib eating dirty earthworms, you better head on down to Dairy Queen Silver Springs. They got the best, the juiciest, tastiest char-grilled hot dogs, burgers, solid filet of fish and chicken, and 90% fat-free pulled pork barbecue. That's a little sweet.